Let's Get High and Read the Bible is brought to you by Magic Medicine Marijuana, found here in sunny Los Angeles. We're going to go right into it. I just want to say that your mom loves our podcast.
I've been hit in the face twice. I've been socked, I've been smacked in the face once, like fist. And it was it was in high school, and this little skinny kid, and then he ran away, and I was like, oh. And then I got busted for chasing him around the band room, the music room.
That sucks.
Yeah, totally did.
That's totally how that happens.
Totally is. And then Mike Squires slapped me in the face once.
I bet that hurt. He has huge hands.
Yeah. Maybe did he slap me? I know he spit in my face, but he was like a bottle of vodka in, and it was like 10 in the morning. He's like, you don't know me. You don't know. You don't know.
So scary. It'd be so scary.
It was pretty funny. What the fuck is going on with these fucking
I'm always drunk. In the stories, like we share hotel rooms, I'm wasted. He's always sober.
Right.
Because I never played shows with him during that time.
Right. Oh, you were, yeah.
Yeah, so to have drunk Mike in front of me.
Yeah, no. I mean, and this was I think this was one of the last times he drank. And he was doing it with Duff. I told you this story. I wake up and we're parked under a Target or whatever you want to call those giant stores. Oh, that's so much better. And I kind of hear laughing, and it's Mike is pretty articulate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well spoken, and so when it's you know how you can tell from a long ways off if someone's had plastic surgery.
Sure.
Because you can just tell, just from the symmetry of their face, you can tell genetically something is off. Just almost that's what it was like with Squires that morning. I could just tell, just the sound waves that were coming out of his mouth were so different and kind of oddly shaped as the ones I was used to that I could whoa, and I just ran out there and and he's got this much left in the bottom of a pint of vodka. And Duff's sitting there what else? I'm like, wait, you drank this much, all this without waking me up? Either one of you? I mean, Duff wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you fucking drank. What? I was so mad. Because, he never
want to
drank.
Be part of buddies,
I'm like, what the fuck? He's I'm like, come on, we're going upstairs and get another one. And so we went upstairs and got another one. And we drank that one. And then during that one, he's like,
that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it was great. What are we reading today, buddy?
Oh, yeah, the Bible.
Have you gotten high?
So, have
you gotten high?
You were telling this story, I got way high.
Have you gotten high?
So what comes next, folks?
Let's read the Bible. That should be our... I'm going to try and do that every time from now on. Did you get high?
That's a good idea.
Let's read the Bible. Cocksucker.
Yeah. Let's, we're going to see what Luke has to say.
Oh, that fucker Luke.
About Christ's last hours. Luke 21. You like Luke. Luke's been your favorite so far. The doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah,
Call
a
me
physician.
Dr. Love. What are we doing? Luke which?
21.
Luke 21. What does that say? Matthew 21. Luke 21. The widow's mites?
Yeah.
Did the widow have bugs?
It was a form of currency.
Mites?
It was like a shekel, a penny.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Relaxing into the Word of God.
So, just real quick, everybody, I hope you enjoyed. Well, because last week we did the fucking stringing the guy up, the fucking crucifixion.
Yeah, but it's not out.
No, I know, but by the time it comes out.
Oh, okay.
Hey, everybody. If you're blowing my fucking intro.
I got high, sorry.
What are you doing? Did you get high?
I did.
Let's read the Bible. Come on!
Fucking crow!
Luke 21, the widow's mites. And he looked up and saw the rich man casting their gifts into the treasury. And he saw also a certain poor widow casting in thither 2 mites. And he said, of a truth I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast in more than they all. For all these have their abundance cast in unto the offerings of God, but she of her penury hath cast in all the living that she had.
I have poverty put in all the livelihood she had.
Okay. Signs of the times.
Yeah,
and
that's real short, huh?
That's it?
Which is crazy because, like, does that, I mean, you know, I've always read that as, like, when you give, like, God sees the heart. So obviously all these people are rich. They're giving out of their abundance. It's totally fine. It's not hard on them. But this widow has nothing and she still gives. And so God sees that as like something he's going to reward as the thing you want to be in this story, right? But then it's like, wait a second, is this just like double tax? It's like the lottery when you figure out the lottery is just for like super broke people to get taxed twice, you know? Like,
yeah, it's so fucked. Well, and it's because God. Oh, here's the deal. God don't care about your ducats. He doesn't care about you giving to the church. The church is not God. And you know what? The church is a self-declared conduit on earth. You do not need God. You do not need the church to commune with God.
So so our God isn't short of cash. Kind of like a bond.
God is God.
Like rattling them.
100. Yeah.
The God I believe in ain't short of cash, mister.
Oh, does he say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, okay, I suppose if we read the thing, everything that's in the Old Testament about the Anunnaki, we read, right?
Yeah, it's pretty short.
Pretty short. But have you read any of the stuff from the come on now. Where does that come from? There's the
Zechariah. No,
before, but the clay tablets. The Sumerians.
The Sumerians. We read the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Right. But have you ever read any of the translations of the Sumerian tablets? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somewhere it says.
Maybe I should.
Somewhere it says, and somewhere it says. Where's my fact check though?
Got one of them's.
Somewhere it says that the Anunnaki, what do you call it? Genetically modified us, and to so that we would dig for gold because that's what fuels their spaceship or whatever their planet or whatever. Okay, so if the God those from heaven came were actually the Anunnaki and that's part of the deal, then maybe it is that the Anunnaki want us to pay tithes because that's what they designed us for. So maybe.
Yeah. Man, there's this amazing Rick and Morty. You're never going to watch it. So
I might.
Okay, well, I'm going to briefly summarize it as quickly as possible right now.
Yeah.
Their brake light goes out on he has a crappy spaceship, like a flying saucer that's all broken up and duct taped up.
Right.
And the brake light goes out, so him and Morty have to go into the brake light. And what's happened is he created this very small box that time speeds up, so he was able to allow evolution to take place in a galaxies formed, and then life formed on those planets. And he came down, introduced himself as a god, and they have to like walk on these boxes all day to create electricity to power their cities. But he takes like 20% of that electricity to run his brake light. And what had happened is, in this civilization, a scientist had grown so smart that he created a box where thousands of years would go by and planets would form and life would form, and he introduced himself. So in the simulation that Rick had made, that guy had gotten so smart that he created a simulation, and now the brake light wasn't working because none of them had to go on the box because they had done the same thing to this next universe down. And it's the fucking funniest shit.
I gotta start. I gotta get into that thing. Signs of the times.
Yeah.
And as some spake of the temple, how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said, As for these things which ye behold, the days will come, in the which there shall not be left one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be, and what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, Take heed that ye be not deceived. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ. And the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified. For these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. So, dude, you're late. Where the fuck are you, man? Where's the...
Well, it keeps going even more. But yeah, there's been a lot
later?
of. There's 2,000 years later. There's been a lot of war.
Yeah, so he's like, hey, don't. So we shouldn't sweat this shit. Sounds like we shouldn't sweat this shit, Leif.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Well,
sounds like we shouldn't sweat this shit.
And it's also like we've aged out of people showing up saying they're God. You know what I mean?
That's
it's like,
so funny. Yeah, it was like David Koresh. Was David Koresh the last one?
Well, was he saying he was God?
Yeah, he was the Messiah. He was Jesus incarnate.
He was saying he was the Messiah.
Yeah.
Okay, so but like okay, and then before that, I mean, are these like the cult, the guys with the Nikes and the white stuff? Is that
we had a song about that?
Was that
Hale-Bopp Comet?
Right. Is that are they saying they're God, or are they just saying that they're following God?
I don't remember because I was a kid when that happened. I just remember the People magazine of how many of them died.
Yeah,
but then before that was Jonestown.
Yeah,
which I wasn't there for, but
no, I wasn't there either.
He
was slinging that dick on everyone, though, wasn't he?
It is weird how it's always that. It's just power and like. But you know, Christ is here. He's like, it's really interesting because if we were to read the other, like, there's this same shit is in Matthew and Mark, and we're not gonna do it because it takes too long. But it varies. But here in Luke, like, Jesus knows what the fuck is going on. He's like, there's gonna be wars, rumors of wars. I mean, pretty soon, I guess he's gonna get into more that he knows what's going on. It'll show. What verse did we stop on?
10.
Let's go there because he keeps going.
Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines, and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. But before all these they shall lay their hands on you, and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake.
Persecution.
And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore with your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. And ye shall be hated by all men for my name's sake. But there shall not an hair of your head perish. Got that one wrong, though. Yeah, apparently got that one wrong. Yeah. In your patience possesses ye your souls.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And I mean, yeah, nation shall rise against nation. You know, and he's talking about like, you know, doesn't this sound like it's illegal to be a Christian? Like you're brought before important people.
But he's not talking about Christian. He's talking about Jews.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, he is a Jew talking to his followers. So Christianity hasn't begun yet. This is the guy that's created it. So it's like he's saying, for my name's sake, because of me and you following me, this is going to happen to you.
Yeah, but he thought it was just going to be Jews.
No, well, in this gospel, does it sound that way? Because it doesn't to me. It sounds like he knows that the church is going to. It's in each gospel, Jesus is painted a little bit differently. Right. You know, like we fucking found out, and I'm realizing that whenever we switch to one, I just go to that mode. And here, Jesus knows fucking everything. Like,
well, but it says up here that like you've said, this shit was supposed to be. He's talking about imminent.
Yeah,
right?
but
it will not be by and by. He's not talking about 2,000 years later.
He doesn't. It's not so imminent. That's in Mark. Right?
No. We just read this. We just read this. Dude.
Yeah. But this book, Luke, was written a lot later than all of them. So the temple's destroyed. So this Luke guy has a real good 20/20 view of the past. You know what I'm saying? So
and still he's saying, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified. For these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by.
Right. So, but that if you remember in Mark 9:1, Jesus says like none of you are even going to pass away. But you know what I'm saying? So it's changed. It went from like it's happening tomorrow to it's happening soon.
Right.
It's happening really soon.
Right. So he. And I'm just like talking, right? It's like,
that's what we're reading the Bible.
It just sounds like it doesn't like, and all of these things, they sound like Jewish persecution. You know what I mean? Like every one of these reminds me, like it's like World War II. It's like the Holocaust. You know, it's like it doesn't. This is not what happened. I mean, this might be what happened to Christians in the next
Jews
couple.
are the ones proof. When he says you'll be taken into synagogues, that's a Jewish synagogue. So he's saying that the Jews are going to be the ones persecuting them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it seems like Jesus is specifically talking to his church, to the Christians. Well, and so now I
thought you were saying that that he was trying to reform Judaism.
Yeah, I think so. But this author and what he's writing, and this is because when I say that, I'm taking an amalgamation of all four of these gospels and I put them together and I'm trying to figure out what stories are real. What? Sorry. Well,
because you know none of them are real.
No, because for me, it's like the
end are real.
Well, I mean, you know, what stories have the best effect in your life?
Sometimes I like to set reality aside and have an open conversation about dreams.
Right, exactly. Because goddammit, some dreams rule, and like you know.
So yeah, but you've been always saying.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, not but like, but you've said, or what I get from you is that like that, and I'm paraphrasing.
For real.
That Jesus was coming to reform Judaism, like to make and so, goddamn, what am I saying? He wasn't trying to start a new church. He was trying to reform the one that was already there.
I mean, in my opinion, that comes from Brian Muraresku's Immortality Key. So that's not from the Bible. That comes from my personal experience with Christianity and all the stuff I've ever read about Jesus and John the Baptist and Dionysus and like.
But even the
objective, it's like really, you know, it's.
But even all of the, you know, in fulfillment of the scriptures, That's trying to convince Judaism that Christ is their guy, their guy.
Yeah.
So,
and
so how can it be both? How can it be both?
Well, it's not, obviously, but let's build it up. In the book, in what we're reading, it's going to say one thing, and, my belief doesn't really line up with the book too much. But with this book, the Messiah in the Old Testament, he doesn't die. He comes and he reigns. He kicks everyone out, and people get to worship God. There's a lot of different ideas and beliefs about him, just like there are today about, like, when Jesus comes back or some weird untangible religious thing, right? There's a lot of ideas about this Messiah, but in none of them does he die. Okay, not a single one of them. So Jesus, like many people, thought
hiccup. Slight hiccup.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even be hung on a tree. You're a curse to God if you're hung on a tree. Right. So the way Jesus was killed even disqualifies him from being the Messiah.
Next.
Right. So we have these stories about him, and this one, Luke, he's a huge contributor. Supposedly, he's a companion of the Apostle Paul. He was like essentially his traveling doctor. Now, this was written so much later, though, that you're seeing the like kind of differences. In Mark, our earliest witness, right? It has this phrase, which is, and then immediately. And then all of the verses, all the stories, like he's in the desert, it's like this long. You know what I'm saying? It's like Jesus was here. He had a mission. He didn't really, no one actually knew who he was, right? The only one in the book that actually knows he's the Son of God is a centurion soldier who like pierces his side when he dies,
So he's like Batman?
It's super emo. That's why I like him too. He gets mad one time when he has to heal someone in one of our codexes. From way back when. So now because this is written later for different people, but Christ has kind of evolved through the stories and through time. And Luke is a more Pauline, he believes in the Apostle Paul's teachings about Christ, which is we could do an entire different podcast about that. But so here we're seeing, there's differences in the writings and it's stark, but all of what I say is always going to be kind of more different than that too, because I believe in the psychedelic wine thing, right?
Right.
Does that make sense? I went too far in the paint, I think.
Well, my query was like, how can he be talking about Christians while he's still alive? And when the stated goal even of Catholicism and all of the all the New Testament, they're constantly saying in fulfillment of the scriptures, that whole verbiage about just trying to tie it to the Old Testament and convince Jews, right?
Yeah.
So how can this be that he's talking to people warning them against Jews?
Yeah, well, I think I can answer this. I'm going to try my best because I'm, me. But the next book, John, is even crazier than this. Jesus is like even more of he has powers. He's giving powers. He's healing. And that book's even later than this one. So as time goes on, as people die off, right, Jesus, instead of going like everyone here is going to see the Son of Man come in power. In that book, we don't even know yet if Jesus is the Son of Man. He kind of talks in Mark about him as like a different person almost, right? But now you get way later, all those motherfuckers died and their grandchildren are like, maybe it's a...
Meanwhile, I'm still thinking.
So they have negotiated with these stories over time, and they have like drawn their conclusions, and now here it seems like Luke's doing his best to represent these through the stories. We know they're changing them book to book slightly, so that's the only reason I can get. So that's why when you read the Gospels, you have to take each author independently and try to see their unique angle on Jesus, because they're all a little different. Doesn't that suck?
No, well, honestly, that's one of the best answers I think you've ever given, because it totally just is like, well, it's like moving the goalpost back.
Yeah,
well,
it's
for
like
they're making it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
and the the part where they're just trying to build a play field they can get everybody on, then close it behind them, and then say, you can't get out without, paying us. It's like
they did, and we have a lot of Christian writings from the past. Tons of books that aren't included in the canonized Bible, and we've read a couple of them, and they seem to agree with you.
Yeah. Well, I think the irony. I think that the irony that the very first thing it says is, if you don't give beyond your means, God's going to fuck you. That I think the irony of that is not lost on anyone.
Well, it was on me for a long time, just to be.
Okay. Well, you were young and brainwashed, so I don't think that's.
I got a checking account when I was like 11, so I could start writing checks to the church and practice tithing.
We need to start a church so we can have all your money.
We kind of already do.
Right. Yeah. But there has to be someone omnipresent and irresponsible with money that gets to it before you do. Okay.
What verse are we?
Adversaries gainsay nor resist. I think we stopped at then 20. He said we're at 20.
Yeah.
No, we're at 16.
No, we did all that.
We did the parents. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah, no problem.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them. Well, I guess that's now, right?
Well, this is, mind you, when this was written, Jerusalem got destroyed after that already. It's been destroyed a bunch since this has been written. So then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that. Have you seen the fucking footage of the concert goers fleeing across the sandy plains? That's some biblical shit right there. It's very, 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 very sad.
Yeah, but I mean, and it's
and you're right.
It's
and
like
it's right
it
here.
resonates. It resonates. And did you know that, just for the record, I mean, when you think of Israel, one of the things that I think of immediately is they're like the James Bond of nations as far as intelligence wise. They have all of the coolest, newest toys.
Oh, yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Well, they have the toughest fucking soldiers for sure. But
and everyone's a soldier.
Yeah.
And everyone has to do time. If you live there, right, you have to do whatever.
2 years, I think.
But the whole thing, how do a bunch of guys with motorcycles and paragliders breach Israel from 5 different locations, and none of them? It's fucking crazy.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah,
it's not like 9/11. It's not like 9/11 where, and I'm totally parroting this guy I heard, but it's like it resonates with me.
And
where it's like,
it's in all of our ancient texts. The Quran has a bunch of stuff about this too. They've been fighting over this specific spot of land forever because they think their God promised it to them.
Well,
that's crazy.
But the fact that Hamas, who live in the Gaza Strip,
it's very sad,
right? But
how they've been treated.
They know where they know where Hamas is. They know that Hamas is the only. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
It's like an open air prison there. If you're born there, you're dead. So this is happening now while we're over here complaining about fucking bathrooms. It's great. And it's here. You see it here. So Jesus is talking about it here. Because 22.
We're at
read the rest.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it's 22.
It's the same fucking thing. It's exactly what we're talking about.
For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and unto them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
These are the days of vengeance. Now, again, like it should be stated, Israel, while this is being written, is conquered by the Romans. And they trade hands. They don't even become a country till like 1948, right?
Apparently that's not entirely true.
Well,
like Israel's been recognized.
Israel, since this has been written, they get conquered.
Recognized.
They get
But
conquered
Israelis,
a bunch throughout history.
Jews have been living there forever.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And again,
they're not currently, Israel's not currently recognized by any of their neighbors other than, I think, Egypt. After Egypt, after Israel gave back Egypt, all of Egypt after the 8-Day War. Have you seen the map of like post 8-Day War before they gave everything back? They owned Egypt. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Crazy.
And so yeah, like they've taken and given back. It's so oh man. It's such a challenge.
Yeah,
such a fucking challenge.
People still over this shit right now. Exactly. Woe to you who are pregnant. Like right now, if you were pregnant when all this shit was going on, and how horrible is your day? How horrible is your life right now? That's that's as scary as it gets. And but I mean, here we are, a book written fucking almost 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Talking about it.
Yeah.
So this problem has been perpetuating for a hot minute.
Yeah, 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
Now the Son of Man is Jesus.
And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Oh,
dude,
he blew it. He blew it with that whole and then I'll be there. I promise.
Right.
I should have left that.
Yeah, you let it simmer. You gotta let the joke simmer. You know?
Seriously, yeah, dude, what a bummer for them.
Yeah, timing.
So what? So okay, so we're, like you can.
Yeah, because it didn't happen.
It's that Notre Dame shit. You can you can match this up all day long, but the part where he comes on a cloud, okay. Maybe maybe they're talking about all the UAPs. Maybe the whole, the aliens are they're
Israel,
here.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Israel's still struggling. Don't you think if this was real, he would have just come down right now and just killed all the enemies and saved them?
Well,
I mean, they've been conquered so many times since this was written. They've been driven out of their land.
They weren't conquered.
Beat.
They weren't conquered now. They were attacked
when this book was written.
Yeah, of course. But but if we're talking about doing it now, it's they're.
Yeah, so it's even worse, right? We're talking about in the Old Testament, the Babylons come in and the Palestinian or the Persians, all these different fucking kingdoms. Basically, whoever's the fucking big dog on the block, historically speaking, comes and rolls right through Jerusalem. Because they've never had a big enough army. They've never had the huge enough fort. Rome is just too big for anyone else to fuck with, right? So throughout while this was being written, this is a hotly debated area of Earth. People seem to have been granted it by God.
Yeah,
and now we're still fighting about that.
Still, yeah. I mean, has it always been this fucked up?
Yes, because they're talking about it here. And they were saying once he gets this fucked up, look to the skies, I'll be right there. And this is why this is why I don't think it'll be the end of the world. This is why I have
this
little.
Oh, this is
Everyone's
not
been
the-
talking about it forever.
This is not no. Well, there is no end of the. I mean, again, end of the
It'll
world.
shake us off maybe for a little while. We'll have to
The
reset us.
The dog shakes the fleas, man.
Yeah.
The dog will be fine.
Yeah, we should be a little bit fucking more responsible, maybe. But
Maybe. But
yeah, I
don't
think
know-
so. I think so. I think it would lead. Yeah. Anyway,
Who's
but
we?
humans, the species.
Yeah, well, there's. Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot of great rad shit. It's actually rad shit.
Yeah, I think it says that in the Bible. It says that in the Bible.
It's such
doesn't it?
bleak times, unfortunately. But like we do see it here, written like we said, almost 2,000 years ago. That's a fucking long time ago. They're still talking about the same thing. There's I think some other stuff that you might find interesting in 29.
We're going.
Let's see.
25, and there shall be signs in the sun. Oh, we did that.
Oh yeah, 29.
Is that where we are now?
Yeah,
Behold the trees.
yeah.
Behold the trees. There's unrest in the forest. There's trouble with the trees. For the maples want more sunlight, and the oaks ignore their pleas.
Oh my God! What is this? This is what I missed in school.
The trouble with the maples, and they're quite convinced they're right. They say the oaks are just too lofty, and they grab up all the light. But the oaks can't help their feelings if they like the way they're made, and they wonder why the maples can't be happy in their shade.
What the fuck? What is this
Hemispheres, baby. That's Neil Peart.
from? Neil Peart wrote a fucking. Oh, he wrote everything.
He wrote that's the song. It's a Rush song called Trees.
That's hilarious.
It's fucking.
I
awesome.
can't believe. I'm sorry I didn't pick up. It wasn't 2112. I'm a fan though.
Behold the trees. And he spake to them a parable. Behold the fig tree. You know, I just harvested our fig tree. We've got a green fig tree.
Oh, it's not a weed tree.
No, it's a fig tree.
Okay.
It's in our side yard.
Just so I know, is that for legal purposes or is it actually a fig tree? Oh, it's really a fig tree.
Weed's legal. Well, he said we had fig tree.
Yeah, but I didn't know
Behold
if
the
you
fig
could have plants in your backyard, allegedly.
You can.
Oh, cool.
But no, we have a green fig tree,
Okay.
and I just for the first time harvested the figs because some friends are going to show up and take them and make this fig jam, which is like fucking next
Fuck
level.
yeah.
Can you read this?
No, no. I see Mike Squires.
No, the top one.
Oh, Jen Ayers. That's rad.
What does it say?
Say hi to Leif for me.
There you go.
That's so nice. You should say hi. That's so funny. That's from, I met her when I was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing at the Central.
What was
I
she
wasn't
doing?
even allowed in. She was in Huntington.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. We opened for him a lot, like about 6 times maybe. So I'd
awesome.
get X's on my hand and I'd
Yeah.
go up and play and then they'd kick me the fuck out. I'd just sit out there in the cold. Holes in my jeans, trying to look cool, freezing, rain on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, so
yeah. Okay. Behold the fig. Behold the fig tree and all the trees when they now shoot forth. Ye see and know of your own selves that summer is now nigh at hand. So likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of God is nigh at hand.
see.
Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. Bitch,
See, I'm
you
throwing
said-
my Bible around.
Bitch, you said 2 weeks.
Dude. It's cool though because this is actually what fueled my leaving of the dogmatic lens of Southern Baptist, because you read stuff like this and you're like, and then you reread it and then you reread it and then you can't sleep because you're like, what the
Where the fuck? All this other shit. What?
yeah,
It's like, dude, you got to stop saying. I don't know why they. at some point you got to figure, man, he's not going to show up right away. Why don't we scratch that shit about coming on a cloud and shit? Just like
exactly, they do. In John,
do they?
In the next
okay.
one. Yeah. Yeah, it's well,
It's
and
like-
I mean,
it's
we
like-
do now.
Yeah.
Every Christian right now does. So
Yeah.
fucking, they go to church
Yeah.
every week. Like
So it's like green,
that part
yellow,
just doesn't. It didn't.
red.
Yeah, that didn't
Right.
happen, right? Like they
Yeah.
have like a filter when they get to Luke.
All right.
What verse was it? Yeah, Luke
34.
Luke 30. Yeah, exactly.
And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with suffering and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you awareness, unawares.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, so
wish I had a
well, that's a
highlighter.
long sentence. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with suffering and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares.
Right.
So,
So Jesus comes back and you're caught like an orgy downtown. That's not exactly where you want to be when Christ comes back, right?
so now,
Jesus
now
comes-
it's like we don't know when, but it's going to be, you don't want to be fucking around.
any fucking moment. You don't know. Yes. Well, eventually it's going to say like a thief in the night. You have no idea.
So it's like the big one, the earthquake. So basically what they're saying is we're due.
Well, it's what they're saying is like it's pretty. I mean, I don't know. Now it's just very unchristian of me. This is very unchristian of me. But if you want, if you wanted to keep people in line, let's just say maybe this book was used a little bit for manipulation of the masses over time, and you wanted to keep people in line. And you put the goalpost for heaven and hell.
Just
it will
keep
happen.
putting him back.
You don't
Keep
know.
pushing him back.
Sometime
Keep
in the
pushing him back.
future, it could be any fucking second between now and then. I mean, it worked on me. I was, like every time if I was going to jerk off, I'd be like, what if God comes back right now?
Dude, I hope I nut first. And you're like in it going, God, I got to hurry up because Christ could show up. It's going to be awkward. Fucking creep. All seeing. Hey, let's go check on Leif. He's got his ding, ding, ding. Ring, ding, dong. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Let's just finish this off on 37. Visits Olivet. And in the daytime he was teaching in the temple, and at night he went out and abode in the mount that is called the Mount of Olives. And all the people came early in the morning to him in the temple for to hear him.
The next,
It's kind of anticlimactic.
well, yeah, because it's like he just got to Jerusalem and did all this stuff. It's a little bit off from the other books timeline wise, but this next section is where Judas betrays him.
Betrays who?
Jesus.
Where Judas betrays?
Mm-hmm. Judas agrees to betray Jesus. 22. But see, now we can save that because to me, there's enough here.
Oh, 22. Yeah.
There's enough here to like fucking riff on because this shit is really.
It's pretty definite, man. It's pretty like, it's like spelling it out, and then it's like also like, I don't know.
See, but maybe we're just because of the fundamentalism of Baptist Catholic shit that we're just seeing it through the lens of that. Maybe there's like a.
What do you mean?
I'm just trying to be objective, right? So I'm like skipping down, skip to my Lou. I'm doing that, right?
I don't know
if
what
I
you
can
mean.
find anything good about it. Because like if
It's fucking bullshit. There's fucking nothing good, dude. This is all, and this was my problem with the New Testament, because at least there's no life lessons in this. This is just, dude,
Yeah,
don't
this is
fuck,
dogma.
don't fuck around and find out.
Yeah,
you
this is
fuck around, you're
dogma.
gonna find out. It's like, well, and
it's
not even
very fear based, obviously, because you're like.
I don't find this to be even dogma. This is just fucking fear. This is like orange This is like Fox News.
Sorry, it's one of the same to me. So that's just the effect of dogma. So that's on me. But yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's like it's. You mentioned it earlier. It's like there's obviously it's like some of these people are trying to reach like certain groups of people with the story. So that's it's propaganda essentially.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Wikipedia, where it's like
I love Wikipedia. I'm sorry,
you can't.
I love it.
But you can't.
Great place to start.
You can't preach things that aren't written. You know what I mean? You can't write anything on a Wikipedia page that isn't in print somewhere, right? Or like isn't published, right?
I'm not sure. Actually, I should know.
No, that's how that works. You can't. You have to be able to cite. You have to be able to cite what you're posting.
Yeah, I fix Mike Squire's Wikipedia all the time.
Yeah. So, so it's like, but you have to be able to cite where it's from, and that's like, and so like when I was doing those columns, for the volcano, I would write thing like Paul Spencer.
Oh yeah,
you know that guy?
yeah. He'd be like,
he wrote he did mine, and I'm like, hey, can you put this in? I'm like, he's like, oh yeah, you have to. I couldn't find anything, so I'd write a story about it. It'd print in the volcano, and then he could use that. You know, so that's like what this is, where it's like, okay, we got to keep people in line for generations. So let's go ahead and see, this is what they can preach because they have to put it down here, all this fear, so that they can scare the shit out of generations.
Well, and we're coming from our vantage point of like reading the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, right? Which was like heaven and earth will pass away. It's not even real. And it says, so there's like so many different sayings of Jesus and so many different beliefs of Christians over the years. It'll blow your, like, how many denominations there are now? Of just like
9.
Well, there's 2,000.
11.
Yeah, there's about 6.5,
32.
I think. Well, in every small town, even, and like that's how it was back then. So, but at the same time, I'm trying to skip to my lyrics. It's not going to work with this one. It's weird that he put a finite thing on it. It's weird that he says, don't worry about the wars. Woe to you who are pregnant. And right after all this, I'm going to be right there. Like, look to the fucking skies because you'll see me.
Right.
How many, that's actually so sad to think about. Like, think of like Christians way back then, just like undergoing exactly what's happening there now, just like looking to the sky for some goddamn help, and it never comes.
Nope.
That's fucking.
And he ain't coming. He has another family over in Montana.
Oh, no.
You don't care about how. No more.
No.
Nope.
Oh no. Fucking
don't go looking neither. You're not gonna like what you find. And ding 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 ding.
A lot of fucking leaving for milk references come to mind.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, God like went out for a pack of smokes. It's that joke we've made.
Oh yeah. He's the original
like, never came back.
No.
Like,
all right, man.
Yeah, I'll give you guys eternity in a brain. Fucking.
Yeah. Deuces. Yeah.
Well, I just a strike against Luke for sure when it comes to accuracy, I guess. Since
again, you got to take it with it. Like, who actually wrote this? It wasn't Luke.
Well, yeah, this one, right? But because it's a little bit later, and because we know a little bit about this guy, it could be. But it doesn't matter if this is Luke or his opinions much later. That some student wrote down. Yeah.
But 300 years from now, it's possible I was in Guns N' Roses.
Exactly.
We know he hung out with the. Yes. We know he hung out with the bass player. He could have been the drummer on this. It's like, all right, cool. Yeah, Luke wrote this for sure.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start putting in print that I was in Guns N' Roses and Nirvana. We can't tell you. I know we know he's a brunette.
It was Chad.
It might have been
Jeff,
and then maybe Jeff Reddy.
That Dave Grohl. I think that's how.
After Dave
Grohl,
Grohl,
Dave Kirshner.
Was Jeff Kirshner? Was it Dave Redding? Was it
Dave? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the deal. It's like, and that's like, so, because when do you think this was written?
Man, let me check my notes so I'm actually not wrong. But later, I feel like I want to say 90. Let me just go to Wikipedia. The fragment P or B4 is often cited as the oldest witness. It has been dated from the late 2nd century. Through this dating is disputed. Papyrus 75, Bodmere 14 is another very early manuscript, late 2nd, early 3rd century, and includes an attribution to
so late 2nd, early 3rd.
So that's a 100.
Couple few hundred years.
I feel like it was. I wanted to say 90 though, so I'm going to keep looking to see.
No,
if
I like that number because seriously, that means that maybe I could have been in Guns N' Roses.
No, it is really late. Compared to Mark, which is like possibly 70 AD, right? So, everything good?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's like, it's and again, that's why this Jesus has changed, and apparently, one of the reasons is because I'm assuming then there was probably a decent amount of persecution of Christians going on. So he's trying to give hope to people that fucking don't have much, Over the centuries, it kind of happens. Like, it goes in and out of favor.
Who?
Over there? Christians.
You talking about Luke or Jesus Christ?
Christianity. Like,
no, I know. But when you were saying, I'm sorry, I missed the very first part of what you said about.
Well, because why would someone put in Jesus is coming back right now? So Christians way later, like we're talking. So let's be 130 years possibly after Jesus died. So these are people who are worshiping him much later without any contact to anyone around the scenario period. Why would they put in their text that he's coming back like right now? It's probably because
why?
Life sucked and they needed him to come back to have any fucking hope at all, because must have been a fucking awful time.
But wouldn't the recipients of this information realize that he was supposed to have been coming back right away for 130 years?
We don't, I don't know. I don't imagine still living in a society where like people,
no one reads,
and where like the information you have is right in front of you,
and you don't, and your life is shorter, and
harder.
You don't ask questions because then you get stoned.
Yeah, it's like. It's a it's a quagmire. Sure, that ain't no fun. That ain't no fun.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, interesting. So that's all I can assume is it was like to build up hope. It does kind of make you bummed out though, because now anything else you read in the gospel is kind of like super bummer.
Well, I mean, this doesn't change. This just goes right in line with my predisposition to be like, life this smells funny.
Yeah, well, and if you remember the Christmas special forever ago, this one was one of the books that made up the fake census.
Oh, right.
Where Caesar Augustus says like a census that went out over the land that like
bring all your shit
and you
to
and your
Rochester,
family.
New York, and wait there.
Go to Oslo, Norway.
Yeah. Oh, was it where you were born or your nationality?
It was where your ancestors were born.
So go to Italy.
Yeah, right. So
go to Puerto Rico.
Have to go to right. I'd have to go to Denmark or Norway.
Right.
Yeah.
That's realistic.
And back then, again, it's the only writing from that time that mentions this happening is here. There was a census taken, absolutely, but it was nothing like this. Like a Roman dude came to your house, counted your shit, and moved on. Like a census.
Yeah.
And it was
like
a different
normal.
time.
They were annoying. They were like solicitors.
Yeah.
They were like Mormons now.
Well, no, it was just more like a census that happened around.
But they came to your house.
Yeah.
Like Mormons.
Yeah. Do Mormons still come to your house? They don't come to my house.
Oh, is that Jehovah's Witness? Sorry,
Jehovah's are funny. That's so interesting. Like, and man, there is hope though, because we're gonna keep reading through this.
I love that. There is hope though.
For your entertainment value in this podcast, my friend.
What?
The Gospel of Judas.
Yeah.
Very tiny. We're not going to get there for a while, by the way.
What we should
I found like 5 fucking books on it. I got to read these 5 books first. They're fucking. It's been so fascinating.
Why do you have to read them first?
Because I want to know. We read the Book of Enoch. I didn't know shit about it, and we missed out on so much shit.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the Book of Enoch is fan fiction of our favorite verse of Genesis, which is the fucking Nephilim.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna, and this Gospel of Judas is hotly disputed. It's a lot of obvious, like
hotly,
but it seems to be part of this, like Presbyterian. You know how there's different denominations of Christians now. They're called Gnostics.
Yeah.
Okay. Seems to be
as opposed to agnostic.
Yeah, it's like it's Greek gnosis, like the knowledge, and so they believe that there's like, because Jesus spoke in parables, everything is like a riddle, and if you figure out what it's about, life is like this. It becomes magical. And to be honest, I fucking love everything I'm reading about him is fucking badass.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah,
with
that's why I'm like, because I bumped into him forever and like reading about Christian shit, but like you're not allowed to read the Book of Satan or read the Bhagavad Gita or read anything that's contrary to your denomination's like beliefs about the Bible. In fact, growing up, we always work jobs, so once a week we would get to go to the Christian bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of this?
No.
You've never been to a Christian bookstore?
Fuck you. I've been to libraries and I've been to bookstores that have Christian books in them. You've never been to Two Flavors ice cream shop? It's delicious. Why wouldn't you go there?
Right.
No,
it's too bad you haven't.
Parents,
You're dead on. It's really,
yeah.
It's like horrible. It's like, it's like there's only Christian music. There's only Christian bumper stickers. There's only Christian everything, and like so that was the only place we could buy shit at.
Yeah.
So it was like books. There was a book called This Present Darkness.
Did you were homeschooled the whole time?
Oh yeah.
Because when I was in elementary school, every class would make some tchotchke bullshit. Like my 6th grade class, we would take hangers. You ever do the knitted hanger thing? Where you take yarn and you knit around a hanger. So it's like you have like a purple and green striped hanger, right? And then we'd sell those at the carnival, or it wasn't a carnival, I can't remember what they called it. But it was the St. Nick Christmas thing.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all your fucking presents, it's like if all of your presents from Christmas had to come from the fucking elementary school, like you only got shitty presents because you couldn't go to Sears and get fucking Total Control Racing.
Oh man. See, okay, here's the only objective thing we can do about Christianity on the whole pod today. Because my siblings.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, because it's not about the Bible at all. My siblings and we all got jobs when we were very young at a Christmas tree farm. And what that meant is October, November, December, you were balling. Like I would be like 11 years old making like $800 a week back in the early 90s, or $800 a month. It was like, as an 11-year-old, you were like, I have $1 billion. Like I am the richest person in the world.
I need a checkbook so I can donate.
I would 10% always. Actually, I would do 20 because I'm a baller, because I'm a badass for God. You know what I'm saying, bitches? Stand up, let my shit be shown before men break. No, I'm joking. I'm sorry, that joke's too long. So back to this Christmas tree thing. My brother also got a job, and he was like 6. So he became an elf, and he was making money too. Like, Yeah. And we worked there. I worked there till I was 18. So I worked there from 11 to 18. It was and it was, to be honest, it ruled. Like, so my job was I slept there at 4:00 in the morning when everything's frozen. This old farmer who throws fucking shit at you if you're slow, and like chainsaws and wrenches, and like he would just start his tractor in the slowest gear and drive around this almost 40-acre farm, and I'd have to run back and forth and find the tag trees, cut them down, and drag them out, put them on the lift. So it was like. It would take like so long to go around too. So I just like this one arm was just like so strong, horrible. So I'll probably have to edit all that out. It's the end of the podcast, and I'm having too much fun. Yeah,
Bring it around.
Right? So, I mean, what do you do when 4 siblings actually are kind and love Jesus, and they make a fuckload of money right at Christmas? Like, you buy your siblings cool shit. So, like, you know, the Apple U2 iPod came out, and that meant that if I buy that for Levi, I won't have enough money to buy an iPod for myself. And I was like, fuck, well, it's way worth it. So I did, and then Levi had bought me a bigger iPod than I would have. You know, it's like, so we'd always had, like, vagrants living with us, you know, like friends that just ended up staying there for 7 years. And one of them was this rad, super smart guy, and he counted all the gifts, and it was like 368. It took like 8 hours to open all the presents from everyone. That was like Christmas every year. It was fun. That was fun as fuck. Like, because you and my sisters were so good at giving gifts. If you didn't get them cool shit, you'd feel like an asshole. So you had to like actually not just get like a gift. You had to get like a really thoughtful gift that like actually meant something to them, you know. And so it was a beautiful tradition while it lasted, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm trying. I mean, you know.
What were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about how you basically can't trust this Gospel of Luke at all because it drew a line in the sand that makes it definitely not inerrant with the second.
And how did that get to the Christmas gifts?
Well, I guess because then I was trying to defend that and I couldn't, and then I wanted to say something good about Christianity. So that was the good part.
And the good part was that Christians like to spend money on themselves. Or on their family?
I guess. I don't know. I just was telling a story to a friend. I didn't know.
Oh, I thought it was like, because I was talking about, you talked about, you never been to a Christian bookstore? And I was like, fuck you.
Oh, no.
And it was like, no,
it has nothing to do with that.
Going to a Christian bookstore.
That's indoctrination.
Going to a Christian bookstore is like having to buy all of your presents at a elementary school carnival
at the North Korean supermarket.
Yeah. Although no, it'd probably be that. They probably have, never mind. Yeah. Okay. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. It's kind of a yard sale of an ending, but we definitely appreciate you being here. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Yeah. Thank you, Beijing.
Okay, I'm gonna stop this madness. Let's see.